Libby and I have never seen Interstellar before, and I don't know why we waited this long to see it. By the end of this movie, I almost shed a tear. But the real question is, does one of the most famous sci-fi movies ever actually live up to the hype? I'm your host, Aaron Haig, and with me is...
Your other host, Libby Collins.
And welcome back to Forget the Critics, the podcast where we watch movies, talk about them, and decide if they actually deserve the hype. Today, we are talking about Interstellar, which came out in 2014. Libby and I are 12 years way too late to this party. Starting off, Libby, when the credits had rolled, what was your first reaction?
Oh my gosh. I was like in awe. I was like, what the heck just happened? And
Now,
I thought, what was the main guy's name? Cooper?
Cooper, yep.
I thought he was like so cool.
I'm going to go ahead and just say my rating before we get everything out of the way. This is a 10 out of 10 movie for me. I'm actually debating on putting this as my favorite movie of all time. It was mind-blowing to me.
Yeah, this one was really good. I don't know if I'll ever come across the movie that's a 10 out of 10 because I always feel like, things can get better. I'm always like, there's always going to be something better. But I get what you're saying. This was a very, very good movie.
Yeah, and you know what I love about this movie is everything connects. Like, there aren't any random plot points that we miss. Even like the ghost at the beginning, that's Cooper the entire time. Or like when they're flying to Saturn and you see it's Dr. Brand when she's like reaching her hand out. That's Cooper giving her a handshake. I love how everything in this movie completely connects and nothing is left unanswered. And I know that's something you love about movies, is nothing left
Yeah.
unanswered.
I do love that about movies, like, it's oh my gosh, because the way that this movie played with your mind, but, like, they tricked you so much, but then they came back and they answered all the questions you had, and they made sure you knew everything that was going on. It was like they really informed you.
Now, making everything connect in the ways like Cooper was the ghost for Murphy. He was the one that was shaking Dr. Brand's hand in that ship scene. Was this twist very cool, or was it a little too crazy to the point where it left you confused? Because like even the bookshelf scene at the end, you can kind of grasp on what it is, but there's a lot of terms that are thrown out that are super confusing. And I know, like I
Yeah, them
watched a
talking about, like, time, relativity, or
yes,
they were saying very big words that, I didn't totally know. Like, I guess I don't know about all that time travel stuff, but, like, I feel like it was
I
very
had
creative.
it definitely is, and I had watched a review on this and like just something to answer some of the unanswered questions that I was having. And one amazing thing about Christopher Nolan, and I'll keep glazing him throughout this entire episode, is he likes to make a lot of scenes throughout the movie that point to the ending or like reveal the
Mhm.
ending. And he also likes to do just outrageous things. So some things that I had seen were when Dr. Brand was saying like we should go to Edmund's planet because she said she was in love with him, and she was saying that, don't you think that love could be something more than just a feeling? She's like, love is drawing me across an entire new galaxy to this man. And she's like,
Mhm.
maybe love is a new dimension and something that, we're just not able to control yet. And that kind
Mhm.
of explains the ending where Coop is thrown into what they call the Tesseract, which was that fourth dimensional bookcase scene. And that's him kind of like grasping love as a new dimension and using it to I guess interact with Murphy's dimension.
Mhm. Literally everything that everyone said pointed to something that would happen later on in the movie. Also, okay, I don't know if this is weird, but I felt like up until he got into that bookcase place, what is that called?
They called it the Tesseract.
The Tesseract. Okay. So up until he
Yep.
got into that Tesseract, I felt like the movie, I don't wanna say I felt like it was realistic, 'cause I don't know if all that stuff is realistic, but I felt like it was possible. But then once he got
hmm
in there, then I kind of felt like, okay, now we're like really getting creative and like we're having fun with our imagination.
Yeah. That's actually a great point because I mean, throughout the entire thing, well, to a point, it's possible. Like, it could be possible to do everything they did, but you would just have to figure out how to do that the cryo sleep that they did. Either way, one thing I wanted to bring up was Miller's Planet, that time, like revelation whole thing that was going on. This moment completely broke my brain. This Miller Planet scene. When they had explained that 1 hour on Miller's Planet was 7 years on Earth, I
Mhm.
I literally had to pause the movie and contemplate this. Like Libby can even
Yeah, guys,
can
he
vouch.
paused the movie. He was like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait," and he paused the movie, and he's like, "Did you hear that? They were on that planet, and 1 hour is 7 years on Earth. So the girl got there a couple minutes before them, and or a couple, like, hours, she landed there and has probably only been dead for a couple minutes. Isn't that crazy?" And I was like, "Yeah, guys. Yeah, yeah, bro, like, I heard them say that in the movie."
But here's the thing,
It
guys,
is
because
it is crazy, yeah.
I'm glad you're saying it's crazy, but like in that moment, I had to pause it and I was so blown away that she was like, because of this time, she probably only landed, an hour ago, and she probably just got hit by that wave as we were landing. I was like, oh my God. I'm like, that makes total sense, but it's so
Mhm.
crazy that it makes sense that I was like, I was like, that's insane. And then Libby was just like, yeah, I got that. And I was like, but isn't that just insane? And I was like going crazy. And she's like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm like, no, like this is insane. I was freaking out.
No, it is.
Um,
It's really weird to think about the fact that they were receiving signals on Earth from her, ship, like, she was able to ping them, and, like, for people who
yeah.
don't probably everyone knows because I feel like everyone has seen this movie, but, like, those signals were sent back to Earth if or if the planet was, like, a good habitat for
Hmm.
humans. So it's crazy to think about the fact that they were receiving those signals and had all the time to recruit people, send them for years to her planet, and still not that much time had passed on her planet, you know? Like, so much had happened on Earth, like, years worth of stuff,
Hmm.
but she had just landed and, like, that's weird
Yeah.
to think about.
I wonder how that kind of works because obviously I don't know if they explained how many years had passed since she went to Miller's Planet. Besides them saying like an hour or so, so we could probably assume it was 7 years on Earth.
Mhm.
So for 7 years, were they receiving a thumbs up, or did they just get like one or two thumbs up, and so they're like, okay, let's check this. That's so, like, hard to think about, though, because
Yeah.
because she was there for such a short amount of time, she probably only sent, like, 1 thumbs up. But to them, did they receive multiple? Because it's been years for
I
them?
don't
Like,
know.
think about that.
Well, 'cause think of
Isn't that crazy?
it's probably been more than 7 years. Cause how many years does it take to even get to the planets? Didn't it take them, like, 2 years? Or didn't they go in
Yeah.
that wait, what is it called? Cryo sleep? Didn't they go in cryo sleep for a few years? Oh, Aaron, and
Yeah.
then do you remember once they got off from her planet and back to their, like, space station thing, and that one guy had waited up in the space station, like, when they got
Oh
back
my
to him,
gosh.
he was like, "I thought you guys weren't coming back." And they're like, "How long has it been?" He's like,
Yes.
"It's been 30 years." Oh, that was
No, he
weird.
said 23.
23? Oh my
Yeah.
god. That's
I think he was
crazy.
like, yeah. They were asking, like, how many years it had been, and the robot was like, it's been 23 years, and like named it down to the date and hour that was just like, oh my gosh. And
Yeah.
you were feeling bad for everyone.
Yeah, bro. That was weird. That, like, weird, like, time swapping made the movie feel, like, urgent, you know? Like, every time they would, like, land
Yes.
somewhere and do something, I was like, "Oh, they need to hurry up, like, they're losing time."
And you know what made me and I didn't think about this until now, but the movie was like 2 hours 45 minutes, like 2 hours 50, but because
Mhm.
everything was all revolved around time, I feel like it wasn't even that long of a movie. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree, it
Like,
didn't
to
feel
me,
that
it feels like
long.
I wasn't sitting there for that long.
I agree.
Well, let me know what you think about this take, but after watching this movie, I think that Interstellar should be a canon event for every human being. Like, I think everyone should at least once watch this movie.
That's not a crazy take at all. This movie is so good, and I feel like
Would
eye-opening, you know?
would you recommend this movie to people?
Mhm. Very good movie.
I went home and I started talking about it to my family, and I think the only person that has seen it was my mom. Otherwise, and I was surprised that my dad hadn't seen it. My dad is like, "No idea what that is." I was like, "Dang," because I had heard of it, but I just never had. Because I remember on TikTok seeing scenes of when they landed on Miller's planet, and Coop was realizing that the water was a massive wave coming behind him. Because he's
Yeah,
like, "Those aren't
I've seen
mountains;
that
those
on
are
TikTok
waves."
too.
Hmm.
I've seen that part, and I think we've all heard the part on TikTok where, he's in the what is that bookshelf thing called? Tetra
The
something?
Tesseract.
Tesseract. I've s
Yeah.
like, the way he's screaming, he's like, "Murph, no!" I don't know,
Yeah,
like,
he's like,
there's
"Don't let
something
me
about his
leave,
scream that
Murph."
sounds yeah, it's, like, familiar. I feel like I've heard that in, like, a compilation on
Mhm.
TikTok.
Every time I watch that clip, because 'cause I've seen that clip so many times, and now that I've actually
Mhm.
seen the movie, it has some, relevance to me, and it means something to me, and I get goosebumps when I see that scene. I'm like, "Oh my gosh," and
Yeah,
that's crazy.
this was, like, an emotional movie too. Like,
Mhm.
okay, throughout all of this, did you really, really want him to be able to save the human race, or were you more like, you wanted him to be able to reunite with his family?
That's a great question. To be honest, I I understood why he had to do it. Um, but at the same time, I think he could have not done it and they still would have. No, I take it back. I was going to say that he probably could have stayed with his family and NASA could have pulled it off because they were going to do it regardless. So I think him doing it was a little bit more than thinking he had to save the world, but also feeding that urge deep down inside of him that he's more than just a farmer. Because he always is like,
Yeah.
I'm more than this. But
Mhm.
I'm thinking now, thinking back on the movie, all the scenes where he had to do crazy ship maneuvers, like when he had to literally spin the ship at the same trajectory as the
Mhm.
entire the space or whatever the big one was called. I don't think anyone else could have done that because he was the best of the best. So I think
Yeah,
if
he
he
was.
didn't, like, don't you think if he didn't do it, a human race probably would have been dead?
Probably. I mean, do we know that human race was able to survive, though? Do we just assume that at the end he's, like, been able to figure it out?
Yeah,
Because
because
another
they're
key
on the.
person is, like, Murph was so, so smart. She was, like, a little brainiac just like
Mhm.
him, and so, like, obviously, as you go through the movie, you realize, like, all these connections that happen, like, him and her, they're very connected, um, and then at the end, she's, like, literally dying of old age, so that makes me think that she spent her lifetime being able to, like, make some good progress, probably.
Well, she did, Libby, because when he had woken up after being saved, they were on a they
Oh,
were on a ship.
you're right. They were orbiting
They were
Saturn, weren't they?
going. Yep.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Murph saved them, bro.
Mhm. She did.
That's
Here
crazy.
here's a question. Here's a question I have. Do you think so in when Cooper was in the Tesseract, he was saying, "Don't let me leave, Murph," because he was now regretting everything because he realized, you know, that he's dying in this black hole, and now he's in this crazy place. He has no idea what it is, and he's reliving the worst probably moment of his life now. But
Mhm,
as you see the ending of the movie, he things work out. He lives, well, somewhat work out. He ends up living, he ends up seeing his daughter again, even though she is on her deathbed. And then he
mhm.
ends up able to steal a ship He even gets Tars back too, or whatever his name was, the robot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
you're
he steals
right.
that ship and goes to Edmund's planet to get Dr. Brand. So I guess you could say there is a happy ending for him there. But if he could take it all back, if he could time travel back, do you think Cooper, knowing what everything ends out to be, would do it all over again? Or do you think he would say no to NASA and stay with his kids?
I think he would do it all over again.
You think so?
Mhm.
What if his story ended in the Tesseract? What if he ends up dying in the or let's just say he doesn't even make it to the Tesseract, he just dies in the black hole. Do you think he would do it all over again? Or do you think he would stay with his children? I think he'd stay with his children in that moment.
Yeah, I think he would too. Because if he had died in the black hole, there wouldn't have been that connection between how love transcends all, like, different realms of time.
Yes. Yes.
So,
That's a great
like,
point.
lost the plot right there, bro.
Mhm. And then here's one thing that a lot of people have bring up that we should definitely bring up is the fact that, and I don't know if you know this is kind of a fun fact, but that black hole, they called it gargantuan. It was kind of
Mhm.
the big yellow Saturn looking thing. It actually is almost 100% accurate to what a black hole actually looks like. And Christopher Nolan, in making this, actually helped scientists make discoveries on black holes because of how accurate this was in the movie. And what
Mm.
I don't know, I saw something about it. I don't really remember all the fine details, but I guess every frame of that black hole took 100 hours to render, and there's 24 frames in a second. So every single second you're seeing this black hole, there's 24 frames. And so that's 100 hours of rendering times 24 frames per second. So imagine how long that would take to render that black hole.
Yeah,
Crazy.
forever. Wait, so does
Crazy.
Christopher Nolan have, like, background knowledge of, like, things in space like that? Or how did he
I
make it
don't
so
know. That's a
accurate?
great question. That's a great question. I don't know. Like I'm wondering if he researched it or if he had people that he knew that knew. But I mean, gosh, I mean, to do all that, you've got to be so passionate for this movie. It's
Yeah.
insane.
I wonder if he researched it and just wanted to make it seem as accurate as he could.
Yeah, because I mean, he's not the guy to cheap out on a movie
Mm-mm.
after seeing this. And then another thing to add
Yeah.
too is the music, Libby. So when it comes to movie, they call it the score. So when someone says the score in a movie, they're talking about music and some extra stuff. But um in this, there's always one sound that's always playing throughout the entire movie, and it's so I don't know. I guess the way to explain this sound is when we had watched 20 years later, the Radiohead song that was like everything in its place or whatever that song
Mhm.
was, it kind of just like had a hold on me where every time I heard this song, it was like I was in a different universe and I was just like it just had me like floating out of my chair. The song was so amazing. And the same thing with this Interstellar sound. It's
Mhm.
amazing. I just love it. You know what I'm talking about? That same
Mhm.
sound every single time.
I
And
feel
then
like the
also
sound doesn't do the same thing for me though when I watch a movie, like, I don't feel like I
really?
focus as much on, I feel like I focus more on the dialogue than the sound.
It's interesting. Do you think you could like, imagine if a movie had no music. Do you think it would still be good?
Yes, I don't think I would notice.
Wow. I think a movie would be bad with no music.
I
I
never
think it
pay attention
has
to
to
the
have
music, I'm not
music.
gonna lie.
That's crazy. I feel like that's the first thing I pick out. Like when we were watching Scream 7 the other night, that song that came on, I was like, oh, this is the Peaky Blinders intro. I instantly recognize that.
Well, but
So that's
that was a
crazy to me.
familiar song for you because 'cause you've watched Peaky Blinders, so
That
that
is
could be why
true.
you picked it out. But I feel like I can't think of,
True.
like, like, I don't know, I don't know, it's really not something that catches my attention when I'm watching a movie.
Yeah. Well, and and then also another fun fact during the and I didn't pick this out until I heard someone else say it. But when they were on Miller's planet and they were like, "Okay," Cooper was like, "We literally got to get out of here." And at max an hour. He's like, "I don't want to be here that long." The music that was playing during that scene had a ticking clock in the background. And it was like and every I don't know if it was 1 to 1.5 second, it was clicking represented 1 day on Earth. So every click you heard was 1 day passing on Earth. But
Wait,
for them, it was like a second.
did you notice this while you were watching, or did you, like, see
No,
this after?
I yeah, I saw someone after say it.
Oh, did you notice that music, though, while you were watching it?
No, and I didn't. But apparently
Mm.
like during that scene there is music and beneath the music there is a tick and it's to represent that they don't have a lot of time there. And that's
Mhm,
crazy to me. Like that's the fine details that went into this was amazing.
mhm. Well, now I feel bad for not appreciating the fine details as much.
Well, that's all right cuz now you've watched it, I've watched it, and I just still think like everyone should watch this movie to appreciate movies
Yeah,
because
I
it's just
agree. This
the
is
amount of things that went into this.
absolute
Insane.
cinema. You know that meme?
I do. I do know what I mean. I'll put it up on the screen. Um, but yeah, that is everything I've got to say about Interstellar. I have a Interstellar themed game that we're gonna play real quick. Are you ready to play the game?
Mm, I'm very ready.
So it's called Space Survival Draft. This game ties perfectly to Interstellar, but doesn't require you to know, a lot of knowledge of Interstellar. But after watching Interstellar, we're going to be playing this game. Imagine you're leaving Earth to start a new colony. You can only bring 3 things with you to survive in space. Okay, I'm gonna give you 5 options. You only got to pick 3. Here we go. Starting
Okay.
off, a robot like TARS. You remember TARS?
Yes.
A spaceship with unlimited fuel, a team of scientists, a communication device to talk to Earth, and then a time machine. Which 3 are you taking and why?
Um, I'm gonna take the ship with unlimited fuel because
Okay.
why wouldn't you want unlimited fuel, you know? That just
Fair.
means you never have to
Eh,
worry about not being able to make it to a different checkpoint. Even if, like, your
Yep.
materials start to, like, run out, like food or something, you can always go back to Earth, get more.
Yeah. Good point.
Second, I'm gonna take TARS. TARS was, like, the all-around
Mhm.
handyman, very multitasking little robot, okay? That one's a given.
Yes. Yes.
Last, I'm torn between a group of scientists and communication with Earth. I think I'm leaning towards a group of scientists, though, because, I don't have the
Mm,
knowledge. Even with
yeah.
TARS, if I didn't have the knowledge of, like, scientists, I think I'd be cooked, and also, communication with Earth is only gonna get you so far. People on Earth don't know what you're experiencing out in space, you know? So, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing TARS, unlimited fuel on my spaceship, and a team of scientists.
Interesting. I think I think you were right with the first 2. I like the unlimited fuels because you in Interstellar, it actually persuades a lot of their decisions because of how much fuel they had. So
Mhm.
that would be nice to have unlimited. Tar's so nice to have. I mean, he's fast. You literally see her pick up Dr. Brand. And then he knows everything because he's a robot. So I personally think you don't even need scientists because of him. But then I would probably bring a time machine because here's my thought. I might be breaking the game rules here, but if I'm like, I don't really need unlimited fuel, time machine back to here, and then I pick something else. is that
Mm.
is that fair or is that cheating?
I guess it's fair, you know, anything can happen in Interstellar. They proved that to us by, like, having some weird things go down, so I guess it's fair.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, there it is, guys. I want to keep watching Christopher Nolan movies because I think I can, without a doubt, say he is my favorite. I mean, I haven't watched all of his movies, but I've seen enough where I'm like, these are just the best movies I've ever seen.
Well, yeah,
Interstellar,
what are some other
Inception.
movies by him that we've seen? Have I seen others by him?
I literally don't think you've seen any other movies besides Interstellar.
Really? Oh my gosh, well, guys, drop some recommendations down in the
Yeah.
comments, things you think I'm gonna like. I don't care if you think Aaron's gonna like them. Put ones that I'm gonna like.
I think we for sure should watch Inception next. I do want to see Tenet. Um, I don't know if we'll show Libby, but obviously the Batman trilogy he made was really good. But
Mm.
thank you guys for watching this one. It has been real. Comment down below what you think about our review. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to hit that like button. Turn on the notification bell, and we'll catch you in the next one.
We'll see you guys next time.